Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry, I know I haven't updated in about over a week and a half now. Should have done this Thursday, should have did an update Thursday, but things were going on with me. Well, there was nothing really going on, it was just that I forgot to do it on Thursday. But yeah, as far as like I told you guys that last week's video was supposed to be the big one. Well, I can honestly say this, a lot of things has happened since 2 weeks ago. A lot of things happened 2 weeks ago. Pretty much the last video was like the start of things, and this is probably going to be a long video. I'm not sure, maybe not. I'll try to compact everything down into one video. Let's see. I'll just see how long it goes. But yeah, it's been pretty interesting since the past 2 weeks. Pretty interesting. I think I'm on the better side, but 2 weeks ago was pretty scary. But I'll get to it. Well, what should I start with? I guess I can start up with what happened 2 weeks ago on a Saturday. I hung out with my friends, my friend Scotty and my friend Wendell, and we hung out at an arcade. They were visiting there. Like, my friend Scotty is from the UK, and other friend is from Philadelphia, and they came to New Jersey to visit for one of those yearly visits, and I want to see them because I probably won't see them in a long time. So they came down. I picked them up from the train station, and we hung out for the day outdoors. It was like one of the first days in a long time that I actually could hang out for as long as I did. So it was about a couple of hours, pretty much like around like 4 o'clock till like 10, because they had to go back up to do some things back where they were. Um, I can honestly say that that day was pretty interesting. One thing I can say for sure that the agoraphobia, I guess, whatever, was kicking in really good. I pretty much went to the arcade. Usually there's an arcade where I live and I usually go to. And they wanted to go back there because they've been there before last year. So I went there and I was pretty much feeling fine when I was there at first. Then about like 30 minutes in, I just decided to check my heart rate for whatever reason. I shouldn't have done that, but I guess it was for the best because when I checked it, it was pretty up there. It was like around 110 when I was standing up and just randomly checking it. Like I wasn't even feeling anxious or anything, but that was the way how it is. And I guess I was just walking around too much, or just just in general, it was just like wonky. I don't know, or it could be going crazy. But at the same time, I just the anxiety the way I felt. I guess I was feeling a little bit blurry. I wasn't feeling too good on my feet. So that's why I'm lucky they had like a couch that I can sit at. So pretty much sat down on the couch almost the entire time, and just trying to calm down because I guess I was just being a little anxious for no reason. I didn't feel anxious. I didn't want to be anxious, but that's just what happened. And my heart rate was like going bonkers. It was like going from 80 to 100. I wasn't even feeling anxious. I was starting to sweat a little bit, even though it was pretty warm there. It was just a bunch of other things, and it was just really annoying. And I just was like, why is this happening? I mean, maybe it was just was if it's probably normal considering that I've been there plenty of times and never had this issue, but just the way I felt was just like it wasn't happening correctly. Things just weren't going my way. I wasn't hungry. I was just basically in one of those high anxiety moments, and it was just bouncing around from 80 to 100 the entire time. It would stay like in the 90s when I was just sitting down. And I'm not even sure if it has anything to do with the sound or anything, because it was pretty loud there. If my nervous system or whatever gets really irritated when I hear like a loud noises or something. I don't know, but it wasn't the greatest day. But I still stayed there and hung out with my friends. So but that was that Saturday. After I went home, I was pretty much more calm. Had my food, had my dinner. Hung out with them. Then they had to do what they had to do. So that was that Saturday. But as far as how the days went on after that, it was okay, but like my sleeping, for some reason, has really dropped down, and it's been one of those instances where it's almost going back to the way my sleeping patterns were back in the fall. Like when I first started having body issues or anxiety issues or POTS issues, whatever was going on with me, um, it was just that my sleeping was just not doing correct, was not doing well. It just seems that the my nervous system wasn't cooperating when I tried to sleep, and I think that's pretty much trying to come back now. And I mean, it hasn't been that bad, but last not necessarily last Monday, but like 2 weeks ago on a Monday, and was like when things really got interesting. I remember Monday waking up, before I had to go to my therapist. I woke up to my heart beating fast, and that was unusual, and I can feel it. Like I just have that feeling to where like my heart's beating fast, something's not going correctly. Something is just you know uh, something's not right, something's off, and when I was feeling my heart rate, I didn't check it. I mean, like I didn't check it with my phone or the app, and I just could feel it going like a little bit too fast, and I'm saying like it's kind of too fast for my resting heart rate after I wake up. So it was weird. I didn't know what exactly was going on. So all I know is I just basically it was close to my time to have to get up anyway to go to my therapist. So I got up and I went to the I got up, went to the bathroom, and then I sat back down. And it was like still racing, but after a couple minutes of sitting down, just relaxing, it went back down. So I was like, okay, whatever that was is whatever. So hopefully it doesn't happen again. So after that, I went to my therapist and got on with my day, and that was that. However, this is the big one. This is the big one. I'm watching TV by the way at the same time in my room. But 2 weeks ago on a Tuesday, I can remember it clearly. It was around 11:20 a.m. So I remember waking up to the same racing heart. So it was like okay, what the hell's going on? Why is my heart racing? I didn't understand it. I didn't know what was going on. All I know is when I had my hand right here, like my arm, what I'm laying my tablet on is on my bed rest. So it's like the top of my head where I lay on my futon, well, a futon, but like my armrest. So when I was, how when you sleep, if you put your arm on a like on an object or whatever section, and like section of your arm can get numb. We all deal with that. So that's what happened to me that morning. My arm was on the armrest while sleeping, and it was like this section right here was numb. So I said, okay, that part is numb. I'll just raise my arm up, let the blood go through, and everything. And this happened after I woke up. So I lifted up my arm, lifted it up, tried to let the blood go through. I lifted it up for like 10 to 20 seconds. None of this was moving. Nothing was moving. This part was still numb. The blood wasn't getting to it. It wasn't, I don't know how to explain it, but like, all I know is usually after a couple of seconds, once you lift your arm up from that spot, the blood should go back to your arm and become numb. So that's what happened. But just this section stayed numb for about 20 to 30 seconds. And I was like, that's really weird. Now, I wouldn't have gave it much attention, except for the fact that after the 30 seconds, I felt that I was nearly going to pass out. Now, I don't mean the type of passing out where like you're just tired and you're like, okay, I just need to go into bed and just like knock out. This is a different kind. This is like the kind where you just feel like you're going to pass out or black out when you don't want to. And it was just that kind of instance to where like, whoa, that's normal. I just like if I was looking at the my window right here, um it just felt like everything was just going to black, and I wasn't barely closing my eyelids. It was just like fading out. And I said, whoa, that was really different. And so I immediately got up. And when I got up, of course, that kind of spooked me. And then, along with the racing heart, it got even worse. It basically went into panic attack mode. So I said to myself, okay, whatever. It's just a panic attack. I guess like just shake your arm. It will be all better and everything. And what ended up happening was my chest felt very, very warm. Like I had a really weird sensation going on in my chest. And it was like, whoa. Not to mention the feeling of passing out while I was going to stand. So I didn't know exactly what was happening. All I know is I wanted to get outside because I felt like if I'm going to have a panic attack, if I was to get outside, I would get the fresh air, the fresh oxygen, and it would just calm me down. But I remember trying to go downstairs to go get outside, and it felt like I wasn't even going to make it to the door. So I said to myself, "What is going on? This is weird from any other panic attack I've had. I've never had this sensation, and I never had this chest sensation where it felt like it was totally hot or something, and I felt like I was going to pass out, just drop to the ground. I didn't know I was going to die or not. I didn't think that, but like, just feeling that in general was just very, very different, and it spooked the hell out of me, especially the part where the arm was just numb and didn't do anything after I lifted up. So something was going on. I said to myself, I'm not going to let this slide by. I'm going to call 911. So I call 911, and I guess most of you are saying, like, well, that's the worst thing you can do. And I understand that. I understand that. And I didn't want to do that. But, feeling that for the first time was like, you know, eye opening. And I just something needed to be done. So all I know is I went to I called the ambulance. The EMTs came and picked me up. They did my vitals. Surprisingly, everything was normal. My heart rate was around 90, still normal. My Well, it calmed down, and like the whole panic attack episode happened for about 3 minutes. But just in general, with what I felt, it wasn't normal. So I just needed to get that checked out. So blood pressure was 122 over 84, so normal. Even though the bottom number was like in the pre-hypertension, but it's normal. But I went to the ER, laid down, got an EKG and everything. I guess that was normal. Except for the doctor said there was like a couple sections that was like, something like that. But like it's not something that I should lose sleep over. But in general, I went to the ER, spoke to one of the nurses there, and told her that she asked me, was like, "Why are you here? What's going on?" I think I had a really bad panic attack to where I felt like I was going to pass out. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen to me, so it was very scary. So that's why I'm here, because I didn't want to take any chances. So, and I told her that there could be a possibility that I may have POTS due to my neurologist somewhat confirming it. And she said, "Oh, okay. That honestly makes a lot of sense, and I can understand why you're here. If you do have POTS, I can understand because." She said that her sister actually has POTS, and she said I can understand exactly what she's going through because I've seen it happen to my sister, and her sister has to get fluids every week. So that's basically kind of felt a little bit better knowing that yeah, I can understand why you're here. Even though I think after this time you should just probably you know cool it down, which I want to. I'm definitely not even going to get scared anymore. But like, yeah, went to the ER, waited to get seen by a doctor. Once I got seen by a doctor, um, this doctor was pretty much understanding due to the fact that he looked at my hospital records and said, "You were here for the. I was there, um, 3 other times within the past year. No, the first one was in September, and second was in January. Third time was in April. You were here 3 other times. Something's definitely going on." And he said basically that he wasn't going to just let me out. He's going to get to the bottom of this. And I said, it could be just a panic attack, but I've been confirmed by a neurologist that there's a possibility that may have POTS. And good thing the doctor knew exactly what POTS was, because he said that, okay, yeah, this definitely needs to be looked at. And so basically what ended up happening was I did some orthostatic testing at that there when I was waiting. And basically just to see what my blood pressure would do upon standing. From what I remembered, you know, when I was, I think, laying down, I guess I was a little bit anxious. Laying down when my heart rate was about 88, so I wasn't worried about that. But then I stood up. No, not stood up. Sat up. My blood pressure was normal too. My blood pressure was normal. Sat up into the sitting position, and my heart rate went up to like 90 something, or a little bit over 100, just by sitting up. And then when I stood up, the nurse basically told me that my heart rate jumped to like 133. And he literally said, now I'm a doctor, that your heart rate just by standing up went to 133, and you're 26 years old. You're too young for that to happen, and that's definitely not normal. They could have said anxiety, but they definitely said that that's something to look at. It wasn't like, oh my god, you gotta lose sleep over it. It wasn't anything like that, but that was definitely a concern. So also, I got blood tests done. They did my enzymes, to see if I really was having a heart attack. All of that was normal. The only thing they basically kept me over, basically, I stayed at the hospital for 2 nights. Um, they did tell me that, my sodium level was low. Not low, but like not in the normal range. It was like kind of low. And there was something else that affected my kidney function. I forgot what it was called. But they say that, combined with the sodium being low and whatever something element in my body that affects the kidney function was a bit abnormal, a little bit high. So when they did that, when they did the testing, they assumed that I was dehydrated, and I said to myself, dehydrated. Now that was kind of shocking to me, considering that for the past couple of months I basically been taking in 2 liters of water a day. Well, at least around there. I was drinking a lot of fluids for the past couple of weeks, and I said to myself, dehydrated? That doesn't seem right. I've been drinking a lot of water. And, after them telling me that, they were just like, well, you still have some dehydration and stuff like that. We're just going to keep you overnight, and we're just going to give you fluids. And so basically, the reason for me to keep me overnight is just to do the testing. Basically, I got an echo test done there. I should have gotten done the next day after I spent the night at the hospital. But something happened to where like I had to wait another day. So, it's basically scheduling and just basically keeping me overnight due to the fact that they said that my sodium level was low, and they were just giving me fluids, just to like get that back up to normal. So on the second day, they did another blood test. They did my work. After the blood test from the second day, it was no back to normal. So my sodium levels are back to normal, and the other level that was concerning, that affected my kidneys, was back to normal. So hearing that was pretty well. So I didn't have to stay there. If that wasn't normal, they would have kept me in for another day. So but that didn't happen. So they kept me. They also did an echo test, and on my heart, did the echo test, and everything was negative. So there was absolutely nothing wrong with my heart that would cause the palpitations. So the palpitations are still there, but it's definitely not being caused by my heart, which is a very good thing. So knowing that my heart is in pretty good condition, I basically left the hospital that night and came back home on a Thursday. So that was a good feeling, but like it was just overall a hectic experience, and just something that I never really want to deal with again. So yeah, so uh, came back home Thursday. Went out with my night, ate some dinner. Then Thursday night went to sleep. So went to sleep. Thought to myself, and I haven't slept that much when I was at the hospital too. I didn't really sleep a lot. So when I got so Thursday night into Friday was going to be the first night I was going to be sleeping, and full hours of sleep. So I got to some sleep, but then again, 4 hours into my sleep, the same thing happened again. Basically, the same thing that happened on Tuesday basically happened again. I woke up with a racing heart. I guess I felt somewhere in my arm was a little bit numb, and it was just like like, oh great, here we go again. Got up again. Heart went into panic mode, and I went back down. I didn't feel like passing out. That's the only thing that was a little bit different. But the same thing happened where my arm, something in my body was like, not going correctly in my sleep, to where it went into panic mode. It took a while for the blood to get moving. After I stood up, went outside to get some fresh air. Called my dad. I didn't call 911 because I know for a fact that after getting an echo done and doing all those tests and everything was normal, there's no reason to call back and say like something this is happening again. I didn't even do that, so I just you know relax and just like let's see what happens then. So calm down, but I was still frustrated, with everything that's happening. Um, so other than that, I just went on with my day, frustrated, like just not happy with how I can't get good sleep anymore. I didn't know what's going on. I don't know why these episodes are happening in my sleep, and it's not like I'm having bad dreams or anything like that. It just happens that like when I sleep, something is not going on right, and I'm guessing it has a lot to do with this bed because I decided due to me sleeping on this futon a lot, I decided to just basically sleep in my the other room, my sister's room, which basically has a mattress. So I've been sleeping in there for the past couple of weeks ever since Friday night. Well, 2 week last Friday night. And I can honestly say that honestly either makes a difference or just that I'm kind of used to it. Oh, but other than that, I've been sleeping on that bed, sleeping on a mattress, and I would still wake up in the middle of the night or still wake up in the middle of the morning, however you say it. And it's just that I would feel like numbness, everything in there, but I don't wake up to a speedy heart. I don't wake up to that anymore. Sleeping has been a lot better. I get full 8 hours of sleep. My sleep schedule has been returning, so I'm assuming it has everything to do with what I'm sleeping on. I'm sleeping on a futon. Let me just the futon. I'm sleeping on this. Okay. Let's see if I can get a good angle. Sorry. I'm sleeping on this. You can see right here. It's like 5 years old. I got this in 2009. This is basically, all that and stuff like that. I've been sleeping on this thing for the past 5 years. I mean, I got this futon when I was in college, end of my college year. I wanted a futon basically because I didn't want a bed because I would get like a guest over. As you can see, my TV's right in front of me for my bed, so